Oh, you've been live.
Okay,
You're live.
okay.
Yeah.
So, I think as we go through, oh, you said you had something you wanted to do. with-
Yes, thank you very much, Senator Baumgart. In my going through, part of our proposal did not get highlighted, and I skipped over it because this was complicated to get put together. If you just turn your attention to page 18, line 8, powers and duties, you'll see a little bit of ours and a lot of yours. And because I've said that we would be referring to supervisory unions later. So this language largely reflects what you proposed on page 6 of the side-by-side. But however, sort of keeping our not more than 3 options. And within that, I also want to just point out that at the bottom of that, we kept your original proposal for the 8,000 cap. And then I also just wanted to spin over, if you wouldn't mind, to page 20.
We did.
Line 10. So we did keep the 4,000 student minimum. I just want to point out that the language is fairly wiggly. It basically says to the extent practical and approximately 4,000. That is really a recognition that in some parts of the state, a district of around 4,000 students
Could be very big.
it would be very difficult. It would be gigantic.
And we noted that language that had wiggle room.
Oh, and then, as I said to you, we neglected to take out the adult and funding and study language that went in the budget and elsewhere, but yeah, that's obviously fine to pull out.
Can we start at section 1? My desperation for familiarity of the thought.
Yeah, we are, the only thing is we haven't just had a time to really go through this very carefully. But so when we say okay, it means
Mostly okay.
mostly okay unless we
Further review.
Yes, okay.
pending careful review.
Okay.
So section 1, okay. And the same with section 2, again, with that caveat.
Section 1 and section 2, thank you. I feel like we should celebrate those moments. Thank you.
So with section 3,
Yeah, it's,
can
can you provide a page number?
I'm sorry, 17.
Thank you.
That's a
You
long.
can't see the section 3.
Exactly, yeah, that's so,
So-
went right past it.
Two kind of key things. We're kind of like okay, but we would like to have 3 legislators from each branch, from each body, and with the two legislators, one from each body being the co-chairs.
Being the co-chairs?
Yeah.
Oh, rather than having the group elect their co-chairs?
Each of the three from the House, 3 from the Senate, and each of the 2 bodies would elect their own chair.
All right, so you're good with keeping the non-member appointments?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, what does that bring us up to for a total? If we had 2 more, that are we at 11? All right, and so 3 from the House, 3 from members from the House, 3 from the Senate. And be good with coming up with 3 who are going to want this task? That's my
Senator
concern.
Cummings says for some reason.
Decided by majority vote.
Well, we'll elect the side, the Senate would elect its chair and you'd elect your chair and 1 chair from each of the bodies.
No, by majority vote, any decisions that the task force was.
Yeah. We, this is not a demand. So this next one on page 19.
Let me send a note.
But down on line 20 on page 19, there's a lot of angst, as you know, in rural Vermont about, this whole, what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we had language that simply said, and it would just, let me just read it, then we can go back to it. Maximizing opportunities for community elementary, comma, more regional community elementary schools, comma, more regional middle schools and regional high schools. So instead of a progression.
You eased your way up.
Yeah,
Was that in the original proposal or is that, you just came up with
we had it
Yeah, we have.
somewhere.
In the,
like centralized middle?
I think.
More
we
centralized,
use-
that's what I meant to say,
initially
more
we used
centralized.
Local elementary, central middle, regional high school.
You
It's
might
the
wanna
Community
say
elementary.
More
To me-
community elementary,
Yeah.
so we aren't promising that every local place would have its local school.
Totally understand the thinking. Was that in the version that you passed out or is that in some other draft?
It's similar.
Okay, great. What page are you on?
I'm trying to find that in the side by side. I remember the language, so you had it there.
So,
Uh,
community elementary, more centralized middle schools and regional high schools.
Did you find it?
it's here.
Yeah.
I think we've got the means to do that. And on page 21,
I'm still trying to find where it was in the original proposal.
oh, I have no idea.
What section is it?
It's never renumbered section or not. We shall. I don't mean to belabor this. I just know I saw the language at some point. It may have been in your original. It came out of how it's
Whatever
edited.
we brought in today, that's where it was.
All right, well, we can move on.
Different. We can
Yeah.
make that work. We're okay with your December 1st for the map on line 12 of page 21.
Are we still in the same section?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that we did, and again, we're not going to demand this or anything, but on page 22, line 13, the map, they're not even meeting until August 15th. I mean,
Yeah,
So like,
we're trying to be realistic.
so it's today, now it's June, almost, right? The governor signs it. June.
It's August
9th.
15th, like you're taking kids back to school.
No, totally, no. I'm just like, if we sooner felt, we were just trying to be realistic.
Yeah, and this does say on or before.
It does.
So like, I think we'd be happy if they met on July 15th. We're just trying to be
Yeah,
realistic
we are
about
not
like
trying
what
to
actually
lock that
happens
up.
and not for. And frankly, both the speaker and the committee on committees needs all three of them to make decisions for appointments, and that can take a while. Though it
So,
would be nice to
and
rush
so
them.
the next line down, which is task force shall select a chairperson, its members that would be scratched and be like that.
Yeah.
Would you feel more comfortable if it was August 1st? I mean, we really were like,
Yeah, August 1st would be good. I mean, just when we talk realistic, you got
Yeah.
on the other
Yeah.
end as well.
Yeah.
So,
agreed.
Gonna have.
so yeah, why not say August 1st?
I mean, I just remember how many Google polls it took.
Yes. No, exactly.
That's why we were.
That's why we said August 15th.
I hate Google.
You know you do.
Just for what it's worth, we're not clear on page 23 whether did the 100,000 actually end up in the budget?
The 4
So-
million ended up in the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the 100,000 is part of the 4 million.
It's in there,
Yes,
okay.
and this is something that we, what we think is probably needed here, and I don't have the exact language in front of me. But it's that some, money needs to go to ADS for them to, for the GIS office to be billing to. And, some version
But if it,
has the money for the consultant to facilitate the group and write the report. And so the two of those together is sort of what the language would be, but we'll show it to you.
we had it in there originally, in the
Yeah.
Senate Ed version for the purpose of hiring somebody with expertise in education.
And so the ADS is for the, yeah.
It's changed now, so.
Yeah.
So let's think through the wards here. The timeline for this.
We still in that same section?
Well, no, it's section.
Page
four. It doesn't- you can't see it.
Okay. So before we go to section 4, do we want to say good? Should we think
Well,
about it longer?
let's, let me just recap and make sure that I understand what they're basically suggesting as ways to get to yes. We go from 2 to 3 current members of the House and from 2 to 3 members of the Senate on the district task force.
Not more than the, parties.
I think that's in there.
The language that we'll need to just sort of rejigger or that regional, the community regional, which no objection from me. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah,
Co-chairs.
co-chairs,
Mhm.
yep, and August 1st, at least.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, so
Great.
shall we say yes?
We can,
Yeah,
we'll go ahead and do a tentative yes on that.
Your own tentative, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So,
You up to section 4?
yeah,
Love your thoughts on section 4.
yeah.
What do you think?
Some ways wondering what they're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a totally legitimate question.
Because if we're trying to get a map done have the legislature adopt a map in early January, we never say to anywhere at this rate, this one, do we?
I don't think there's language that says, well, I mean, we have recommendations given to the legislature.
It was given to the legislature by December 15th. And it is true they could, the task force or the GovOps committee could do some work ahead of time, but not much until the maps are adopted.
I think it depends. Yeah, I think there's some work that could be done. I mean, if I don't want to be on that task force, but if I was on it, I would need to get up to speed with all that fun stuff.
Yeah, there's some, that's
There
what,
may not be any harm in keeping it in the sense that they could get fully educated on it. I think the Secretary of State would run a tight ship and would say, this is not, we don't have anything left we can do. And they wouldn't hold any meetings
They could meet twice, learn what they need to learn, and then pause for.
until they have, okay.
A month.
Yeah. I mean, Chris, your thoughts on this?
No, I question a little bit too, but I don't see the harm in having them
This
there.
was important to our body when we voted the bill out.
Yeah.
so it's
It
gonna,
was.
okay, and so again, I don't really care, but they'll meet a couple times in the summer, then they won't do anything until sometime midwinter.
They'll do what they need to do, I
Perhaps.
guess. I don't know what.
Well, I think that really it is extended into winter only if they have done anything, just to keep them around to be a resource to the legislature doing this work. Yeah, so I guess I'm not married to this, but I think I have confidence in the Secretary of State, not wasting anybody's time if it's not necessary.
It was a big deal for your
Yeah.
guys. So, okay.
Do you,
Set their first meeting a little later.
we had that, we talked about that too.
Does that help?
We don't care.
I see no reason to be.
Okay, great.
You want to put them into?
October, September?
Yeah, let's do October.
have a pen that's better than this. I have endless, I have another one in this file. Thank you, sorry.
Good looking pens, I thought they.
This is, these are good. This was like, anyway, onwards.
Okay, so that we're,
Oh, so does that close up that section? Did we get on this something?
With the change to, what did we say again? October first.
Yeah, that closes out.
Okay,
We didn't have anything, section 5.
okay,
well, that's where we at one point had added the stuff about the transition,
Right, we pulled it.
the transition, but we moved it, so that's okay.
okay, so closing that,
Yeah.
Okay.
Then this is the class size section. You have,
We're okay with it?
Okay.
Is your language.
yeah, that's what we're just,
okay,
still just checking here though. I think section 8, right?
we're on 8,
Nope.
we're on 7, sorry.
7 first.
7, I think we're good with, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Would be. It would be dependent on what we decide on 9. Because one sort of starts the way.
Those are the other one.
I think we're okay with 8. We just want to have a little side conversation with council to make sure that the language parallels for independent schools. And as long as it does, it's fine. I think it does, but it's not check.
Do you want us to take a
No,
quick break?
we'll just do the tentative. We'll just do the tentative. Everything's tentative. So,
Thank you.
and
Is that 9 too? Or just 8?
That's, we're doing, so that part.
8 and 9 are one package.
Well, 9 continues on with graduate, with calendar.
What are you looking at right now, sir?
well, looking at on page 33, section 9,
Yeah, we took some.
well, we had not done this at all because we didn't take any testimony. Oh, well, you mean the proficiency part, the
Yeah.
proficiency. So that's,
No, it had to do with private schools and meeting standards. It may not look good.
okay, well,
Where?
I think we're talking, I know what you're thinking of. I think that's good. I think we're good though. on that.
You think good on
Yeah,
that?
I think so. So I think probably good on 9, right?
And we didn't know any differences.
And that money was in the budget.
11,
11 was sort of an amalgam. It was basically Senate proposal language with our addition of the state.
Yeah, this one, I think we want to look at. We definitely want to look at more closely, and because I think we liked our language better.
okay.
Uh,
It's all school construction.
So 12, good, 13, good?
We go,
Yeah, those are,
Okay.
go all the way up to 20. 21. Right, 21, page 15.
yeah, obviously a major issue. So,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you just said.
one major issue.
Okay.
Um,
So section 21 still has a lot of discussion for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we'll await a response on that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
22?
Well, I think the response is no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Counter proposal, perhaps?
No.
Okay. Twenty-two, good?
Transition, yeah.
We didn't have any
We have no
disagreement.
differences.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay. 23.
Just added the intent.
That was in order to take, that was, we met your proposal, and so we had to, staff had to reword that first sentence.
Okay. And so why was that? What was our proposal that you're?
Section 23. I don't, these sections are different.
Yes, council, could you provide us a little
Yeah,
context
that's
here?
changing Office of Legislative Counsel and collapsed 2 intent sections into 1.
Okay,
Section 23.
Yeah.
okay,
Thank you.
got it.
Twenty-four, 5, and 6, okay?
Let's just see. I mean, really.
I don't see anything, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're up to the budgetary numbers.
The budgetary numbers we heard, which
Yeah, are you okay with these other sections then?
I think so.
Not sure the governor is.
Yeah, that's it.
That is a.
Something for issue, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I don't. Okay is the right word. So.
Progress.
Mhm.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
That's very satisfying. Should we take a break, eat dinner, and then we can do the second half of the bill? Or do you want to try to finish this half of the bill first?
I think we probably need time to. None of us has a proposal yet.
We have a proposal for the second half of the bill.
Okay, okay. It's drafted the same as this.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, we can take a look at that, I guess. But
Yeah, if you're ready to share it, I don't know if you're.
I wonder if maybe we want to take a quick break for dinner, especially for staff to eat,
And giving a chance to put the,
to post,
post the
to
proposal.
post things and
Yeah.
maybe so to just switch mental gears.
Yeah, okay. So what do you want to say, 7:15?
30?
Oh, you want long, usually dinner.
It's gonna take 5 minutes to walk up the stairs, 5 minutes to microwave something.
The cafeteria's not open, right?
No,
Yeah.
I do have a frozen burrito if you want one.
What?
Frozen burrito if you want.
Okay.
And if you are finding yourself coming up to, we have delicious sourdough bread, cheeses, a few other leftover items up in our committee room.
How's 7:20, Peter?
7:20 sounds great.
that's great. Okay.
Does that work for all of you?